welcome. Let's just go ahead and get that straight. 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 Hi, guys. So, I now have the new arm, which is attached to the brand new webcam. This is the first video posted to my channel with the new webcam. And of course, you guys all remember the board, don't you? The microphone is off to my left. So I'm hoping that the audio and the video are to everyone's liking. The computer's nowhere near me, which is weird, and it's going to take a while to get used to. But I'll look right into that lens and talk to you fine people. So Tampa, I'm going to say right off the bat, I've got them listed as first in the Atlantic. Now, here's the thing. There are some qualifiers with this. First off, Stamkos has to be good to go. If Stamkos has any lingering issues, if Stamkos is having any sort of pain that's affecting his game, Tampa's not winning. That's not the only issue, though. Point needs to continue to make progress. If they're going to put him as the number 3 center, and he's going to be with the team all year, he has to continue to make progress. Now, I really loved Braden Point. When all the centers were hurt, Braden Point came in and played very, very well for Tampa. Point was fantastic. And really, he spearheaded that huge fourth quarter they had, and they almost made the playoffs, and Point was a big part of the reason for that. And if they made the playoffs, they would have given everybody an absolute heart attack in the playoffs. Now, I'd like to see Killorn, who seems to score big goals when he scores. I'd like to see a little more production from him, but that's probably just me. Kucherov is absolutely their biggest star, and that includes Stamkos. Even when Stamkos is healthy, I still think Kucherov will lead them in points, and I think Nikita Kucherov is just as good as he's being billed. I don't think he's overrated at all. And Palat rounds that out. I mean, in order to really grasp just what a contender they are, you just look at that top 6, and it's pretty fantastic. Now, if Callahan jumps in and Nemesnikov bounces down because of who they're playing, or maybe they want more of the Callahan aggravator game, and Brian Callahan's very good at aggravating people, then still, it doesn't take away from the top 6. Yanni Gourde is penciled in as 3rd line. And I don't see... Well, actually, he was penciled in his 4th line on the side I was looking at. And I thought, you know what? Chris Kunitz might be best suited on the 4th line and playing special teams. Save him up. Don't burn him out. And with Paquette and JT Brown, I still think Condra has an outside shot at this lineup. I know Tampa fans weren't happy when I said something about Condra making the team. But I still think Condra has a decent chance. I like Derek Condra in Ottawa. So I don't see any reason why he's not an NHLer. You'll see guys leave the NHL and come back. It happens. Adam Ernie I like a lot. I don't see where Ernie fits into this roster unless Gourde, doesn't play well in the preseason. I can't see Gourde missing the team. And Kunitz didn't get signed, so you can watch from the press box. Gabriel Dumont down the middle. Matthew Pekka down the middle. I've got Bourneval on the wrong wing because I've got Corey Conacher here. Conacher and Condra, it's much the same thing. Well, they're both former Senators, but they're both guys who can play in the AHL, play well, get called up. They'll clear waivers if they get sent back down, and they're useful when they play. They don't hurt you when they play. At least I don't think they do. Conacher played for the Canucks very briefly. You blink, you miss it. But anyways, on the blue line, actually, no, he played for Utica, didn't he? They acquired him, and I don't think he actually played a game for Vancouver, which upset me because I like Conacher too. Something about cons, I guess. Condra, Conacher. But while I like the depth here, I like the depth top to bottom. I think they've got a nice mix here. The blue line, for my money, is very, very good. I know people are going to pick on Girardi, and they're going to pick on Coburn. They're going to say that Girardi and Coburn, that's going to be a slow duo. It's going to suck. It's going to be this and that. I think Girardi was better than a lot of fans give him credit for in New York, The thing is, he had this huge contract, and I think he'd set the bar so high as a youngster that he couldn't achieve that later on. And I think playing a support role in Tampa, and let's be honest, Andre Schuster is no slouch either. Schuster could absolutely end up in that top four, and Girardi could get bumped down. It could happen. No, I'm not thinking it's going to happen either, but it could happen. I gotta watch what I say, because if I say things could happen, people go, "You're saying this is going to happen." No. Cuckoo, this has to be his last chance, because Dotchin's down here itching for more minutes, and Dominic Mason's been in the minors waiting for his chance. They signed Bodie, Jamie McBain, but for Cuckoo, this has got to be his chance to make the roster and actually make something of the fact that he was a first-round draft pick. Really, and I know people talk about Vasilevsky. There are people who say Vasilevsky's not very good. Numbers weren't very good. You didn't watch the last 20 games of the season then. Once Bishop was gone, once Vasilevsky was the undisputed number one, he played much better. Andre Vasilevsky is a good defenseman, good goaltender. You don't have to be a great goaltender with the amount of goals this team can put up. You don't have to be a great goaltender. Think almost 80s Oilers in terms of the offensive production this team can put out. Think about it. So Stamkos, let's just say if he's healthy, Stamkos can score 85 points. Kucherov, healthy, 85 points. Hedman got 70 points last year. You got to think he can score 75. Johnson can score points. There's a lot, and I really think Braden Point's going to put up some numbers this year. There's a lot of explosive talent in Tampa. Tampa missed the playoffs by 1 point. They were 1 point behind the Leafs, and while we're all very excited about the Leafs, and me included, the Bolts missed by 1 point when they were, I think, at least 10 or 11 points back with about a month and a half left in the season. Tampa is capable, and I don't know necessarily that Tampa's going to do it, but I have them tagged for first because I like this roster, and I liked it last year. Hedman came on really strong the last 20 games of the year. Almost got himself a Norris Trophy. Stamkos is injured, and they still go on a run. Adam Ernie looked good when he was playing. Point looked great when he was playing. If Callahan's healthy, their depth is fantastic. And I really honestly like their depth a lot. And I know people are going to look at the defense. They're going to look at the top two and say, fine, we'll give you Stralman and Hedman, but the rest of it's garbage. I know that's what people are going to say. I like Schuster. I like Girardi as a support guy. And I really honestly think Coburn is better than a lot of people give him credit for as well. And this may fly in the face of what I said about the Rangers in my Rangers preview. It could. It may very well fly in the face of it. But for me, it's down the middle. Stamkos, Johnson, Point, Paquette. That is a really, really fine top four centers. Center, if you're going to win in the NHL, you have to have depth at center. You have to have a D-man that can run the power play and play 25 minutes a game. And preferably a goaltender who's better than average. He doesn't have to be great, because if you have four centers and you have that defenseman like a Hedman or Carlson or Subban, Yossi, if you have that key defenseman that can play in every situation, your goaltender doesn't have to be the next Dominic Hasek. Doesn't have to play like Carey Price for your team to win. He just has to make sure that he's not going to cost you the game. That he makes the saves when he needs to give these guys a chance to score and win. There's nothing more deflating than a goaltender that, in a tight game, just allows a really bad goal at the wrong time. And Vasilevsky, for my money, is not that guy. And then behind him, you got Peter Budaj. Budaj played really well in LA. Um, his value to LA, I think, was kind of overblown because he did play well while Jonathan Quick was out. I wouldn't be comfortable if I was Tampa seeing him start more than about 5 games in a row. So let's say Vasilevsky gets hurt. You don't want to be riding Budaj for long. Michael Leighton is down in the minors. Michael Leighton is okay for a few games here and there. You don't want him to be your full-time backup either. Depth in goal shouldn't be a problem for Tampa this year. But again, Vasilevsky's health is important. Because while Budaj had a great season, there is a reason he was in the minors for years before that. There is a reason that he was unclaimed on waivers before this past season. And so was Jacob Markstrom in Vancouver. It was Jakob and then it became Jacob. And people forget that. I've had people say, oh no, Markstrom was never waived. Oh yeah, he was. But this lineup for me is a first place team in the Atlantic. Now, if we're talking Metro, I think these guys finish not ahead of Pittsburgh. Not ahead of Pittsburgh. But probably second. I don't see this as being the best of a bad division. I see them being a very good, solid team that should have contended last year. Stamkos got hurt. Other issues came up. And now this year with a clean slate, there's no reason that they can't make it work. But I need you guys to let me know what you think. I need you to like and subscribe too if you're browsing your way through, because that helps. And thank you very much for watching. You'll notice a much more steady camera from here on. Doesn't matter whatever's happening on the bed with the cats, and or myself or anything else. So a lot less second and third takes. I honestly have been doing a lot of videos that I've had to do second, third, and sometimes fourth takes of. So yes, these are all stream of consciousness. This is a stream of consciousness. But there have been times where I've got to the end, something's happened, where the camera gets knocked over or something happens with the hookup, and I have to start over. So here's to hoping I don't have to do that anymore. Let me know what you guys think, though. Tampa's odds, as long as you guys are nice, internet's nice, right? Then I have no problem with debate. It's all, at this point, it's all just throwing stuff at a wall and going, all right, I think this is what's going to happen. So let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Comment on my new jersey. Yeah, I got this today. All of my other jerseys are still lost. I've got one set of jerseys that should be here tomorrow. My Columbus jersey I've been waiting for that went from Montana to New York. Last it was seen on the USPS service, it was in Chicago. So that's for another video. Let me know what you think about the Lightning, and thanks for watching.